second episode of Cinema Curse, a bold new experiment in talking about movies online. Today, I actually made a Photoshop you'll be able to see on the stream. My compatriots can't see it, but today, old man jumps off thing. And we're talking Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, and more old men. Let me turn off my webcam. Uh-oh, it's not capturing the Zoom window. I thought by the second episode I'd have all of these issues sorted out, but apparently not. How's everybody doing?
Doing all right.
Yeah. I'm just kicking some ass, man. Kicking some ass.
Nice. Well, I am Connor Lloyd Cruz. I am here joined as usual by I'm gonna say the Joey Chestnut of talking about movies, Edwin Gomez.
Hello, folks. We're back again, uncensored as always, because I can't be censored. I won't be censored. But here, I am free to say whatever the fuck I want, uncensored, unbleeped. I'm free. Fucking free, man. Free fucking falling, man. Wait, no, that didn't make any sense. I'm just free. That's it. Power to the people, man.
And who else is with us? Let's go youngest first.
Hey, I'm Scott. Are we? Wait, how? I guess that's awkward.
No, it's fine. I mean, hey, go for it. Go for it, Scott.
All right. I just want to say shout out to the rest of my fellow Gen Zers. Taylor's coming to town this weekend. Still looking for those tickets. Anybody hook me up? Follow me on TikTok and X.
These Taylor Swift tickets are harder to get than Oppenheimer 70mm tickets.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm willing to trade at this point. I have one more Oppenheimer 70mm ticket, so anybody wants them for the Airs tickets, just give me a call.
I will say that the Venn diagram of people who desperately want a Taylor Swift ticket versus people who desperately want an Oppenheimer 70mm ticket, that overlap is Casey.
And with that wonderful segue, I'm Casey. I am desperately looking for an Oppenheimer 70mm ticket. I already have my Taylor Swift ticket because she's performing in my backyard.
Nice.
I'm very happy to be here.
I'm happy you're all here. I'm happy we're having this discussion before our ritual suicide later. But yeah, I don't know if I say anything else at the beginning. I don't think I do. I think we just talk about the movies. I know one thing I do. I made little special backgrounds. Not special. I found other pictures. And that made it sound like much more intense. Here's my one for Indiana Jones.
Sure.
That's a picture, a set photo from Dial of Destiny.
All right.
That guy in the movie?
Very nice.
No. That's the old Indiana Jones from the young Indiana Jones Adventures, where there was a really old Indiana Jones who was telling stories. Okay. I should write down my intros for these topics, but yeah, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, everyone's favorite octogenarian archaeologist is back. It seemed like the broad reviews were moderately positive. It kind of tanked at the box office, which, to be fair, is partially due to how big the budget was, how inflated it was, which was also partially due to COVID. But yeah, I guess should somebody explain what happens in the film? Does anybody? Casey, why don't you explain what happens in the film?
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. So, Indy is old,
Mhm.
and he's like, "Oh man, I gotta find some stuff." And then, his goddaughter
Yes.
shows up, and she's a woman, and
Wow.
she's very outspoken. And then they go on adventures together, and then eventually there's a dial. I think it's a watch. A watch. There's a watch. They find a watch, and then the movie's over.
It's the MacGuffin of this new one. We're set. It's the late 60s now. Indiana Jones is truly an old man, and not just like a kind of old man like he was in Crystal Skull.
Older.
Yeah, he doesn't know his place in the world. He's super depressed, which I identified with a lot. And he goes after this one after Archimedes' dial, some sort of magical, possibly time traveling device. We won't get into spoilers yet. Let's not talk about what happens once the people get in the plane towards the end and all that stuff quite yet. And also there's a couple other little things, like a couple of reveals. There's a character death that gets revealed halfway through. I think we should wait until we get to spoilers to talk about. But Edwin, what did you think of this one?
Well, I love the Jones, man. I love the Dr. Jones. Crystal Skull was whatever. Ending was nice. I thought it was a great way to end the series. But no, people at Disney say, no, let's get Jones back in here. Let's get Harrison back in here. Put him back in the movie. Bring back the Nazis again, which I thought was kind of cool. You know, every Indiana Jones should have Nazis because they're the evil race that need to be destroyed by Dr. Jones. And I didn't like it. I hated it. I wish they brought back Spielberg. Okay. I wanted Spielberg to direct, not this James Mango motherfucker. All right. So what he made Ford vs Ferrari? So what he made? What other movies he did besides Ford vs Ferrari? I know he made other more.
Logan.
Logan is right.
To be fair, to like cut in a little bit, I do kind of agree in that I don't know what in his filmography to me would have suggested, oh, he'll be really good at Indiana Jones necessarily, because it is like a very specific and particular style of like action adventure thing.
He didn't grow up with a swashbuckle adventure. That's Spielberg and the Lucas, man. Those two dudes knew the characters, knew that style, knew that genre of movie making.
I will say, Edwin, you gave it 4 stars and a heart on Letterboxd.
No, I need to change that. All right, I need to change that.
So like what, 3.5?
Yeah, it's around there. Yeah, 3.5 seems reasonable, but still, I like the opening scene where we get young Indiana Jones de-age, which doesn't look that good. But just have an adventure like in the original movies. And Matt Mikkelsen, I will say, is pretty badass. I love his character. He was really cool. He was like the only thing that was like from the original series, and that's it. Also, Indy's goddaughter, I hated her so much. I thought she was a terrible person. Like God, she's a horrible human being in that movie. Even though she did redeem herself by the end. Like, no, I won't forgive you for this. You are an awful person. You are a awful human being. You, God, man, I just hate it. I wanted to walk out so bad, but no, I couldn't. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I got. Just fuck you, Disney. Fucking cocksuckers.
Scott, what do you think?
It was fine. I don't have a great love of the series. I don't dislike them. I think Raiders is fantastic, phenomenal. I really love that movie.
We got a helicopter going overhead. We can keep going.
Okay, I actually didn't. I didn't grow up with them. I don't think I saw the first one until I was in college. I mean, I probably saw them all as a kid, but I don't think I associated like this is part of a series and stuff. But like when I really was like sitting down to watch Indiana Jones movies and stuff, it was probably when I was in college when Crystal Skull was coming out. And I rewatched them all again, and So I mean, I enjoy them for what they are. I think they're really well, fun made adventures. Um, but I feel like this movie was for people who like really love Indiana Jones. Like it
Mm-hmm.
was very not even fan servicey, but just here you go, here's another one.
Yeah.
This will make you happy. Um, I To me, there wasn't enough in there to like really grab me story wise. It was fun seeing Indy again, and it was fun seeing Harrison Ford play the character again. He clearly loves playing the character and was into doing this one more
Yeah.
time.
There's some press stuff with him that's pretty funny. Like him.
Yeah.
It was like some interview with Conan that was pretty good. And
Oh yeah, that's pretty funny.
That interview clip where someone was like, "It's in the news lately. People have been talking about how like people don't want to punch Nazis," and he's like, "What would you say to someone?" And he's like, "Get out of the way so I can punch him first."
There you go.
Which ruled.
Yeah. To me, it felt like exactly the movie I thought it was going to be, which was like a Disney-made Indiana Jones movie in 2023 that was not directed by Steven Spielberg. It felt like product. I think the reason they got James Mangold wasn't necessarily because um, he was like the right guy for the job, but they knew like, oh, he could get it done.
Yeah.
He could. He would get this movie made, and he did, and it's I saw it again. Like I saw it the weekend it came out, and then I saw it again Tuesday, just because like between Mission Impossible and Barbenheimer, like it was pretty far in my rearview mirror. Where I was like, I don't like other than the spoilery ending, there wasn't a lot I remembered. So I went and I actually saw both again, and I saw Mission Impossible first, and then Dial of Destiny, which was not favorable to Dial of Destiny. Because we're not talking about it yet, but Mission Impossible is just so well made. It's just such a well made movie, and
it's
Dial of Destiny felt more like content.
Yeah, it's wild. Like Dial of Destiny, the action scenes are probably shorter than the action scenes in Mission Impossible 7, but they feel so much longer. Like every action scene is so long and boring in Dial of Destiny. That's like the worst part about it. Is I never thought like, oh my god, like this Indiana Jones action scene, why won't it just end? Like
yeah. And it was fine, but like especially comparing the two and like the two car chase scenes, and even like it was funny watching it. I was like, oh, there's also a train, like fighting on top of trains. So yeah, that definitely did not help the two. And yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't that into it. It just felt like I don't know. It also felt like the fifth movie in a series where you're like, okay, they're still making these, whatever. Kind of jumping on what Edwin said to Disney. Just in general, I think I think it's shown that Disney has trouble figuring out what makes brands they purchase great. With Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and the Muppets, those are all like singular things from like very specific artists. And like Star Wars, as much as it's become commercialized now, is a very strange film from a very strange person. And Raiders of the Lost Ark is like two film nerds they wanted to make a Bond movie and they're doing this and stuff. And it feels like, especially with Indiana Jones, it's like, okay, well, now they're trying to make an Indiana Jones movie.
No, totally. Like I think that there's definitely nothing in this one that's like as embarrassing as some of the worst shit in the fourth one. But there's nothing in this new one that's as good as like the 70% of the fourth one that's actually pretty good. Because I think a lot of people, in my opinion, and this is coming from someone I love, Indiana Jones. Raiders of the Lost Ark is one of like the 3 or 4 movies that made me want to do stuff with movies the rest of my life. It's my second favorite movie behind Evil Dead, I feel like a lot of Crystal Skull it is sloppy and embarrassing in kind of the way that like the Star Wars prequels are, but it's got that juice. It's got that like that Spielberg Lucas like stuff where someone like went up to Lucas and was like, "Hey, what do you want this new Indiana Jones movie to be about?" He's like, "I don't know, Aztec aliens." And then they're like, fuck it, let's do it. Like there's no action scene in this new one that's even close to as good as like the college campus action scene in Crystal Skull, which is probably I would say the highlight of that movie, is that whole sequence in the like in the part before it with like the greasers and stuff at the soda shop or whatever.
I didn't have time to rewatch it before we did this, and I wanted to because I'm sure this is the conversation everyone was having. Is it better than Crystal Skull? How is it compared to Crystal Skull? I gotta say, I have not seen Crystal Skull since I saw it the one time in theaters in 2008.
Yeah.
Like I honestly do not like. I remember the costume and the greasers and like the nukes, but I really do not remember that movie.
I mean,
I'd like to see it again.
I mean, I would say broadly speaking, the new before Dial of Destiny and now after Dial of Destiny, I would rank the Indiana Jones movies in their release order. Like, I like each one, and there are definitely like, there are definitely like bigger gaps of quality. Like the biggest gap of quality is between Crusade and Crystal Skull. And probably the smallest gap is between these new two. Because I actually would say, while I'm talking shit about the new one, I get why people would like this one more. I don't not get that. But for me, it's so like most of it's boring. Like
Which is actually why I think Spielberg didn't come back, because I don't think he was interested in just like giving the people what they want, you know. And I don't think he had like a take necessarily.
There's definitely a little bit of a vibe in this of like either Force Awakens or, if you want to get even more negative, Rise of Skywalker thing, where it's like, oh, you guys didn't like that last one? Fuck it, it's Nazis again. Fuck it. Like,
I would say it's somewhere in between those two.
Yeah, it's not quite as callous and like overcorrective as Rise of Skywalker, but it's also not quite as like, it doesn't feel like as much of a, because Force Awakens only feels like that. If you're thinking really cynically, as like a movie by itself, it's like pretty good. Let me see. Let me look at my little notes. I know our Zoom recording. I don't have Zoom Pro yet because I want to move Edwin over to Discord at some point.
Oh yeah. Working on that. Work in progress with these kind of pictures.
So in about 8 minutes, our Zoom meeting will end. So either someone else should reply to that email with a new meeting link, or we can just wait a minute and then I'll send out a new one. I'm
not familiar with Zoom, so I shouldn't be the one to do that.
Okay.
Let me see if I still have the email. I might have. Okay, yeah, I'll just email you guys a new link to a new meeting.
I also, the new is so long too. Like, it's like 30 to 40 minutes longer than like all the other one, and then they also like didn't do any of the like Indiana Jones jokes except for like in that one scene at the beginning when he's riding the horse and he like gives the horse, he's like, hold my horse, and then he gets on the subway and he's like, subway's faster. Like that's like good. I like those little bits. But then like at the end there's that bit where him and Helena are in the Just Married car that they stole, and then they get out of it and nothing happens. I thought there was going to be like there should have been like an Italian family like congratulazioni and then Indy looks like confused, looks back at the car and goes like, oh, grazie, and then they like pushes past them. But I don't know, they just didn't seem like they were super interested in doing any of that.
Because they're fucking lazy, man.
It also, like, as much as they played it up as like the last adventure, the final adventure, it didn't really have that note of like finality to it. Like, if this was a big hit and Harrison Ford was up to it and they like wanted to make another one, it doesn't feel like, oh, you can't because of the way it ended. Like, it would just be like, hey, I'm older.
I'm older now. I'm in Indiana Bones.
Now I'm 84. Yeah.
Do we want to talk spoilers for a minute about the ending? I know the off-screen death. Those are the two main things. I'm put up by.
I want to jump in on that, man. I got to jump in on that because I got some thoughts.
All right,
All right, let's
what are your
let's get
thoughts?
spoilery.
My thoughts? Did we get the spoiler thing up already?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
All right. They go back in time. The portal. They go right through a goddamn portal, and he ended up back into the time where the device was created. They to go back to Nazi Germany.
Well, let me explain this better. The scheme, the Nazi Mads Mikkelsen and his Nazi cruise scheme is that they're going to get this dial of Archimedes, and they're going to use it to go back in time. At first, you think to help Hitler, help him win the war. As it goes on, you realize that Mads Mikkelsen is going to take over, and he's going to be the new Hitler and really achieve the Third Reich. But then,
Hitler 2.0.
But then when they go through the portal, because the dial itself doesn't transport, it like calculates where a time portal will be and like where it would
there'll be like
fissures
in time.
Yeah. It's done pretty well. It's definitely not as like absurd as like the big alien ship at the end of Crystal Skull. I'll give it that. It's and then they go through it, and instead of going back to Nazi Germany, they go back to like Archimedes' time, and it's sort of implied that Archimedes set up this whole thing as a way to like help him and the Romans, I think, right? Like succeed. Hey, Paul's in the chat right now. And
what up, Paul?
Paul McCartney.
They go back, and like all the Nazis are like, what the fuck, this isn't Nazi Germany, and all the people, like I think it's like the Trojans are attacking the Romans or something like that, and the people attacking them think that both sides think that the Nazi aeroplanes are like dragons, and so it like stops the war essentially, and like that was implied why Archimedes wanted to do it, and it's kind of schlocky, but it's kind of fun. It's probably the most memorable part of the movie for sure.
No, it is.
Absolutely.
No, it is, because the part where that dude's like shooting the fucking machine gun at the dude. Hey, Tiger 7, like, oh fuck, that's great, man. That's that's fucking awesome. But no, the one thing I got really mad about is, well, actually, in a very weird way, I kind of wish Indiana Jones just stayed there, because he's a professor, man. He wants to, enjoy history. Want to enjoy this time. Wants to learn more about this.
Yeah, but he wants he wants to stay in the past to observe history. And his goddaughter, I'm explaining this because Casey is looking very confused. He wants to stay in the past because he's like, there's nothing for me in the present. I want to study history. And his goddaughter has now, over the course of the film, grown to appreciate what he can bring to the real world, and so she like knocks him out and like brings him in the plane back in time, or back to the future.
Why I don't like her. Hence why I don't like her.
I don't think that is the worst thing she does in that film.
I don't know. There's plenty of other things she's terrible at, man. I'm sorry, Casey. I'm sorry. She's not a good person.
I'll say this. I
have no opinion.
I was okay with her. I liked her. I liked her. I mean, just as a guy, I was kind of like hubba. But she's she's a gorgeous woman. And so
not I was me.
Wow, fucked up.
The hate is strong in me.
She's not. Oh my god.
Edwin sees people like pass skin deep, and he can see the darks inside, so he's
exactly.
Like, sorry, Fleabag. Yeah, I thought definitely the ending was the best part, and but also I feel like they kind of shoehorned in the whole oh, I have no place back home. I understood he felt lonely, but that was also just because his life was kind of falling apart. It wasn't necessarily I don't belong here. This stuff could have happened to him in his 30s too. Your wife could just leave you.
Yeah.
So honestly, the ending kind of reminded me of the whole plot to Midnight in Paris, and Midnight in Paris did it a whole lot better.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is they should have got Woody Allen to do a ghost writing of this, or possibly just a writing of it and have him
uncredited ghostwriter.
Exactly.
You know what? That'll be the thing to get him back in Hollywood's good graces. Is Woody Allen writes and directs Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
can we get the spoiler thing back up again? Is that up still?
It's still up.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
still in spoiler
Okay.
mode.
All right. Shia's dead in this one, so that's kind of cool.
See, I didn't love the way they did this. I don't want.
I did. I am so glad they did that. Like, yes.
I understand why.
Yes.
I mean, I don't.
I should have seen him.
Yeah, I mean, Shia LaBeouf as a person obviously sucks. Apparently. I mean, I'm not. That's not even me like trying to be like edgy. Like, oh well, like legitimately.
No, I get it. Yeah,
I would.
I've never met him.
I've never met him.
Yeah.
I'm okay with him. Like, if he actually is an asshole, which it seems he is indeed an asshole in many different ways. I didn't love that they were like, oh, people hated Mutt so much that Indiana Jones now has a dead kid. That felt a little bit. That was the most Rise of Skywalker-y thing in the movie to me, where it was like borderline like offensive. Where I was like, oh, like you hated the last movie so much. Indiana Jones now has a dead son. Like, oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I thought the whole thing. I know what you're saying about how like it's kind of a bummer way, but also I think of the times like, okay, it worked, it made sense. Yeah. I think more than anything, it was done a little sloppily. It was sort of like, it was sort of like that's why he's not here. You know, like just so you guys are wondering, the characters we established, in the same way that I don't love in like Alien 3 when like the kid died.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, well, that's what I did out in this one. You know.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that the rest of the movie, both of those movies, are so boring.
Yes.
So, yeah. Are you holding your hand up, Casey?
Oh no, sorry. Maybe it's the other way. I was giving you an L.
Oh,
you guys are taking an L on this one
for Alien 3. You're pro Alien 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm pro Alien 3.
That's a future stream. Let's move on. Let me take these spoilery things down and switch out my background. Dun, 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 dun. Everyone's favorite totally straight action hero, Ethan Hunt, is back in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. This time, Ethan is fighting old enemies, homoerotic thoughts, and artificial intelligence. It's a Neil Breen movie, basically. And it did, I would say, it definitely has done better than Indiana Jones in pretty much all respects, but it also hasn't done great. At the box office. What are you?
Sorry, I'm doing Manhunter on Saturday, and I have an opening shift on Saturday. I'm just excited, baby. I'm excited. That's it.
Nice.
Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise, Scientology. Yes, go Connor.
Yeah, go. Well, that's kind of the gist of it. I mean, I guess to explain the plot of this motion picture, in the new motion picture, there's an AI and some bad guys, and Ethan Hunt has to run around with his buddies and kick and punch a bunch of people until everything's okay.
And make a new friend.
And make a new friend. Yeah. Played by Haley Atwell, who is an incredible screen presence. I know Paul in the comments kind of didn't like her character, and but I had a problem analyzing her character every time she was on screen, because once again I was going hubba hubba, humana 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 humana, awooga awooga. But
this is why I didn't like seeing it with Connor. I was pretty upset.
Yeah, I was going ba-boing ba-boing ba-boing. The chair next to you. Yeah, I definitely, I totally get, obviously this one, not obviously, but like, I totally get why people wouldn't like this one better than like Fallout and Ghost Protocol and some of the more solid ones, and I probably still like the first one a little more, just because I like the Brian De Palma-ness, but I thought the new one was like really James Bondy in a way that like they haven't been before. Vibe wise, like the opening I loved reminded me of my favorite James Bond opening, You Only Live Twice, that shows this that starts with this space capsule being abducted, and you like don't know what's going on, and then it kind of cuts to James Bond, and we know at some point he's gonna have to deal with this stuff that we've been seeing, but he has this sort of other route into it, yeah, I really liked it a lot. I thought it was thrilling. Every time that fucking opening, they're kind of cheating with that theme, that opening credits, because every time it happens, I'm like, hell yeah, this is the best movie I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, Casey, what do you think?
I liked it. It's not. I liked it. It was actually everything I I expected it to be. Aside from the action sequences in this one are easily some of my favorites.
Yeah.
Especially, I feel like I remember Rogue Nation. It was like, okay, cool. Like this Macquarie guy, he's got the juice. And I feel like I have some hot takes about Fallout, but I feel like the action sequences in this one are him like really locked in. And I like it. I like all of the new characters. I'm a big Vanessa Kirby guy, whatever her name is. I'm a big White Widow guy. Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. And I mean, it's definitely not the worst one.
Yeah,
The best one.
It's definitely not the worst one.
It's definitely
We
the
can all
best
agree
one.
on that.
Yeah, it's the best one.
it's up there for me, Edwin. To be honest, I really did love it quite a bit.
Yeah,
And
Connor, it blew my mind when I saw this picture. It blew me away how fucking great it was. Dude, they fight an AI called the Entity. Wow, that is awesome, man.
It's dope.
The
It was dope.
Entity. Yeah, no, it wasn't just dope. It was a masterpiece. It was a cinematic masterpiece, Casey. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. It's a masterpiece.
it is.
I feel like the. I'm sorry. Good.
No, you
No,
go ahead.
I hope you stand corrected. Dope.
No, yeah,
What the fuck is
dude.
wrong with you?
The best scene.
It's just the energy in the chat seems like we're all disagreeing. I agree. I
Okay,
like
good.
the Entity.
Good.
That's called Edwin.
It's called a masterpiece, Casey. It's called a masterpiece. We'll be fine.
It's fun. It's fun.
No, it's not
Simon
fun.
Morales.
It's a masterpiece.
It's fun. Masterpieces can be fun. They can be dope.
No. It needs a level of a masterpiece. 'Cause that's what this movie is, Case. That's what this fucking movie is, man.
I'm gonna make you guys put on the sweater with two heads on it until you guys stop fighting.
All right, I'm calm, man. I'm calm, man.
I'm chilling.
Yeah. Oh, I bet you are, man. I bet you fucking are. Okay. All right. Gotta breathe. All right. But anyway, let me tell you my favorite scenes. And favorite scenes of pair of characters. That car chase sequence is probably one of the best practical car chase sequence of all time. That's how you do a real car chase scene, all right? That's how you do it. Not no Fast and Furious bullshit, man. That was awesome, man. It's nonstop hounding, man.
I will say it's funny because the most recent Fast and Furious literally also has a major action scene in Rome, right? Is where they are, right? That when that's going on.
Yep.
Yeah,
And it does not compare.
It isn't. It is not. I mean, I still liked. I mean, I'll take Fast X over Indy 5 personally because of how stupid it is. But
It ain't Mission Impossible, man. It ain't
it's
impossible. Also, that scene where they're fighting in the alleyway, that little corridor. Oh my god, man, that was just amazing. Also, what's that chick's name from
Pom
Guardians?
Clementif. Yeah.
Pom Clementif. I fell in love with her in that movie. I did for a little bit in Guardians, sorta, but in this movie, this is where she really fly. This is what she should be doing. This is her fucking best role ever. I think
that opinion. I think you're trolling me when you say that because she's really great at Mission Impossible, but she is not given as much to do as she is given in Guardians 2 and 3.
Look, she has some. She's good in them, but this this is real, man. This is no, I can't go that far for you. I said this is her best role. I'll say it that this is one of her best roles ever. She is such a fucking badass in this movie. Like, wow, man, she felt like I'm watching like a Hong Kong action star, man, because all her fight moves are outstandingly badass. Like, fuck, like, damn, man, she's so scary too when she put all that makeup on in that club room scene. Like, wow, man,
scary. We're like sexy.
Yeah, she's going places, man. She's going places.
Yeah, this whole movie is like top to bottom there's like a lot of very beautiful women and men, frankly. Though I would say the women definitely have it in this one.
Sorry, Simon Pegg.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Forgot about him.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, Simon Pegg is great.
Wow.
Okay, great. What? I got distracted, right? I got distracted.
So much about him.
Anti-Anglophile.
I could never. Anti-Anglophile?
Yeah.
Anglophobic.
There was like... No, never mind. I was trying to look for something. Yeah. Who else? Who hasn't talked about Mission Impossible yet? Scott?
Me. Yeah. I have really warmed up to this movie. When I saw it the first time, I saw it opening night Tuesday. I was really excited, and it left me feeling just a little cold. The action was incredible, but it did feel to me like half a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I really didn't like one plot point in the movie that I will not talk about because it's a spoiler. But then I saw it again with you guys Friday, and I was like, well, now that I know what it is,
mm-hmm.
it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And then when I saw it again with the indie, by the time I saw the film, I was like, oh, this movie's actually incredible. I still don't love, like, it's like, okay, well, that's the choice they made. I wasn't, like, shocked by it, I guess, anymore, because it was...
Yeah.
I knew that's the movie I'm watching. And the half a movie bit still bugs me. I'm a little over this whole, like, part one nonsense.
I'll say
maybe
this.
just because we've had, like, a bunch this year.
I'll say this at least. I thought this one did a better job of, like, one, they actually told you, like, before going in, like, beginning of the movie, part one, so you don't have that thing where people are at the end like, what? And then secondly, I thought that they did a better job of, like, because I loved Across the Spider-Verse, but I do think Across the Spider-Verse is a big issue with the way they did their part one, part two thing, is that Across the Spider-Verse has its climaxes, its plot climax and emotional climax, and then there's like 20 minutes left of the movie at that point. And this movie does like the smarter the choice you have to make, the way that like Empire Strikes Back or something. Like Empire Strikes Back, emotional plot climax are the same scene. It's the Luke confrontation with Vader, and then it's like 5 minutes. We're done. If that.
Connor. Also, side note on Spider-Verse, it should have been 3 hours, not this part two bullshit with that movie. It should have been 3 hour movie, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole. We can do an Across the Spider-Verse episode or something.
I'm just saying that my Spider-Verse is Minority Report. Just saying.
All right.
Kind of. Before we go to spoilers, I do want to say, I do think we have to enjoy Tom's movies while we can. I really think in the next 5 to 10, maybe it'll take like 15 years, the other shoe is going to drop with the Scientology stuff, and it's maybe he won't get canceled into oblivion the way that like you know like there's certain actors that like if you try to be like a big fan of Kevin Spacey now, it's like oh no. But maybe it'll be more like a mild canceling, a smattering. Maybe we'll find out that he is just incredibly stupid, and he just didn't know all the bad things that were happening right under his nose. But I do think it's one of those things. I was thinking about this a lot because I saw The Flash earlier this summer, and I snuck in because I was like, I'm not supporting this because of the many crimes of Ezra Miller. And then I kind of thought, like, but probably Tom Cruise is probably, by his influence in Scientology, brought more suffering into the world, like when you think about it. But maybe that's just me where I'm at right now with Tom. So
I know what you mean. Yeah, it does feel like I don't know how long he and we will get this, but part of me hopes it's forever. Part of me hopes it's not till like, because like I don't know why. I don't know if it had been said, but I assumed that Dead Reckoning Part 1 and 2 were the final movies. But then he said, like, he saw Indy and he's like, I want to do this till I'm 80.
I think that was just like an off the cuff remark. I think for the most part, this is supposed to be the end of.
I could see that. Yeah, but also I could see, like, I was thinking, I was like, yeah, we'll keep doing these, like, even older versions. Like, what if it becomes more spy driven, maybe a little less, like stunt driven.
Oh, and then oh no, Casey left.
We lost Casey.
Great. Lost fucking Casey now. Oh,
where did he come from? Where did he go?
The entity got him.
Yeah, the entity. Yeah. But I will say, I still think, all in all, I like Fallout better. I think Fallout's incredible. It's my personal favorite of the series, and I think it's like one of the best action movies ever made. But I think that just comes from like in addition to having such great action, it just tells such a great story. And the ending, you feel like you got a complete meal and a complete package. And this does feel like it, they did go on the full adventure, and like. They do complete a mission, but there's definitely a lot more to go. And I'll be curious to see how I feel like about after I've seen the second one, and maybe like together as like a 5-hour movie, this one will be pretty incredible.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think it's kudos to the Mission Impossible series. We're 7 films in, and I would say there's five of them, arguably. Like, I would say there's at least 5 of them that if somebody said that was my favorite one, I wouldn't be like, huh? So I think that's pretty strong for an action series. That's closer to double digits than not. But yeah, let's move over to spoilers to talk about the fridge in the room, so to speak. Halfway through, so a lot of the first half of this movie involves well, I guess I should just say it bluntly. Rebecca Ferguson ends up dying about like 2/3 of the way through the movie. She's kind of the end of the second act, essentially.
Yeah.
And
Casey's distraught.
It's so messed up.
It is messed up. I will be willing to if it comes out behind the scenes that this is entirely just because of Dune filming scheduling conflicts. I was
wondering about that. Yeah.
Then I would actually be like, you know what, you guys made the right decision. Like,
Wait,
is she in Dune?
She's the mom.
She's Lady Jessica.
Is she in Dune?
She's Timothée Chalamet's mom.
She's second build in Dune.
She's like the second build.
Look.
Yeah.
There's only one real Dune.
Shut the fuck up.
That's the fucking Lynch.
No, he doesn't even like
Lynch. So what? I don't care.
We're never gonna get David Lynch on the stream now.
Oh my god.
Look, I'm gonna talk to Dave and say, hey David, man, yo, Dave, Dune 84, fucking cinematic masterpiece, man.
He's gonna start crying.
Ty McLaughlin as Paul Atreides. Yes. Fuck Timothée Chalamet. He ain't no Paul. Ty McLaughlin is Paul. Hulk drop.
I'm exhausted.
Good.
I just want to go home.
Good. We are home.
But yeah, no, she's Lady Jessica. Yeah, she's like one of the most important characters. Yeah. I mean, Dune. Technically, I saw someone wrote that Dune is technically a film about doing drugs in the desert with your mom.
Nice.
And she's the mom in that analogy. But yeah, they kill her off in this because narratively, they don't do a great job of setting this up. I do wish they did a better job. In the third act, there's this idea that if Ethan or the bad guy, if either of them die, then that will be what the AI wanted. And so there's this thing where he ends up killing someone he loves to motivate him Ethan to kill the bad guy, Gabriel, who's like the sort of human apostle of the entity. Essentially, there's a lot of like religious stuff that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I sort of thought when the scene is going on, I thought they were about to kill like Simon Pegg or Ving Rhames, like it was going to be a swerve where we thought it was one of the two ladies, Rebecca Ferguson or the new friend Haley Atwell, but then it's just Rebecca Ferguson. And it's funny because I don't know. I wonder exactly if it is the Dune thing, because there's a part of it that reads a little bit like I assume Casey knows, Edwin doesn't, and Scott might know what a beard is.
What?
A beard is someone that.
You mean the thing in our faces?
No.
Yes.
A beard. And a beard is someone like a guy that a gay woman or a girl that a gay man will quote unquote date or sort of pretend to be a thing with to sort of hide their sexuality. Am I Zoomer on call Zoomer? Am I doing that one right?
Yes,
the proper definition.
Perfect.
And there's definitely vibes that Rebecca Ferguson is Tom Cruise's beard in the movie, like 100%. Where they're just kind of like they don't kiss. Listen, Tom Cruise respects these women too much to kiss them, but he will hold their hands, sort of longingly, sort of cuddle with them, because you also have to know he's super into women, and he loves these ladies. There is like a vibe in the movie where it's like they had to kill his old beard because he got a new one. And
like I gotta say, it really left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
To the point where like I don't want to say I wasn't watching the third act and everything on the train, but it was just so like I was so bummed out by that choice that it was hard for me to like really appreciate how great that train sequence is.
Yeah.
And it truly is. Like that third act is amazing, but I was just sort of like, ugh.
Yeah, it's the biggest issue with the movie by far.
Yeah.
They really should have killed Simon Pegg or Ving Rhames instead.
Yes.
No, fuck yeah, no.
No, I get it. Yes, but you're supposed to have that reaction. As opposed to just kind of like, ugh, that was gross.
I'm fine with the chick dying because she's in that other movie. I'm fine with that. No, you cannot kill Simon Pegg or Ving Rhames, man. And if fucking do that, I'm going up to Tom Cruise and say, Tom, you done fucked up, motherfucker. You done fucked up, man.
Especially if this is really, truly like the final two movies, then I think it would have been really a bigger takeaway.
It would have been more impactful if it had been one of them, because they've been around for quite a bit longer.
And I was thinking, how they did it perfectly actually was in Fallout, with spoilers, when they killed Alec Baldwin's character, where like that, like he'd only been in the second one or like the fifth one, and now this one, and like it seemed like he was gonna be around for a while, and then like when they killed him off, it didn't feel so like, oh my god, how we could lose that character, but it did feel enough that I was like, oh, that's too bad. I'm sad that they got rid of that. And I think with this death,
I'm sure now they're like, oh, thank God we did that.
Oh Jesus Christ, God Lord, can we come back and kill him again? This one just felt too like, oh, we've got a new one, so we got to get rid of the old one.
Which is fucked up because Rebecca Ferguson is a couple years younger than Haley Atwell too. So
like my friend said, it feels like they were getting like going in for like the new younger model. I was like, they're not even doing that. Just that's why I do actually. I was thinking about it, I was like, I wonder if the Dune had anything to do with it, because I was like, as far as like global stardom goes, I was like, is Haley Atwell all that? Like, not really. No. Like, she's got the Marvel,
and the only major role she's had in those was like 10 years ago. So
other than like cameos, where like everyone's happy to see her. So it was interesting. And my roommate actually pointed out she was the one who really had the arc of this, which actually, like, some people didn't like her because they're like, she does everything wrong. and like she fucks everything up. But like when I watched it this third time, it's like she has no reason to trust Tom Cruise in this movie. Like just in the interactions they have, he's just some guy that's fucking up her shit. We know he's the hero because we've seen him in 6 movies prior to this.
Mm-hmm.
But and they were never going to do this, but I almost think like daring way to do that is almost similar to what they did with Infinity War,
mm-hmm.
where they made it a Thanos movie.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have made this like a Grace movie with Ethan like popping in and out, and maybe
mm-hmm.
until like maybe the first, like you could still have the submarine and all that stuff in the first act, pre-credits with Ethan, but then most of the movie is Grace, just going, what the fuck is going on? And until like the third act, and then like it becomes Ethan's movie again when he comes flying through the train and like knocks that guy out, and then but yeah, obviously they're not going to do this in the Tom Cruise show.
Yeah,
but like, yeah, she I liked her character and I liked her story. It's too bad that it came at the expense of getting rid of another character who I enjoyed out of the past 2 movies.
Yeah, Haley Atwell is so good. I almost believe that Tom Cruise is attracted to her. So yeah. Well, I think let's move on. Let's Edwin, you want to talk about some old men in action movies?
Man, would I ever, man. You know, the first dude to do that is a guy named Charles. That's right. Charles fucking Bronson, man. The OG himself, man. The GOAT, the Godfather. The face of the Cannon Corporation, man. This is the man, dude. See, he's got his gun out, everything, man. Dude's been doing action movies since the 70s, man. Actually, no. Since the 60s, man. He was the Great Escape. Wow. He was in the Once Upon a Time in the West. He was in everything, man. He was the guy, man. He was the badass, man. I fucking love Bronson, man. Love Bronson.
What do you think makes Edwin? What do you think makes Charles Bronson such a great old man in an action movie?
Well, he's got the hair, he's got the style, he's got the stash, and he always has a big gun.
Yeah, it's funny.
Let's not forget the voice.
Yeah,
the voice too.
It's funny because there's kind of a couple different styles of old man in action movies. There's like the Tom Cruise style of like, I'm still kind of a young man, you know?
Yeah.
And then like what Charles Bronson is doing is like, nah, I'm an old man. I walk around, I got a big gun. I'm going to fucking shoot you.
I don't need to jump onto a train from a motorcycle cliff. I'm just going to blow my way onto that train.
Yeah. And it's just funny. I wonder if, it's not that, because Bronson, obviously, that heyday of stuff was like the 80s and stuff, and so that was a while ago. But it definitely feels like it's more of a thing now. You have like Liam Neeson, and now Denzel Washington is in like the Equalizer movies. And it kind of makes sense to me. It's like the man equivalent of those like 80 for Brady, Book Club, The Next Chapter movies, where like the like people, the demographic that these stars are most going to appeal to are boomers, and clearly boomers, women boomers love white liberal feminism, and male boomers love authoritarian nationalism, and so that's why they get their 2 brands of old people. Like, oh, we're gonna put this old star in a movie, and here we go. Scott, Casey.
Man.
So what is that?
Any old men you want to shout out?
Yeah.
I was thinking about this. I mean, one of my favorite older men movies. It's funny because like this almost seems like Harrison Ford in Crystal Skull, where it's just like, oh yeah, we thought he was old then, but he actually made movies for quite so long. It was Clint Eastwood, specifically Unforgiven is probably one of my favorite. Like,
is that who you were gonna say?
I should have said that. I should have gone first.
Well, guess what, Casey? You fucking didn't.
Yeah, man.
You fucked
I
up.
know. I was there.
Big time.
All right. Scott
time.
came out hot. Scott came out hot. I mentioned the man himself, the man with no name, Clint goddamn fucking Eastwood.
And that name
man.
is Clint Eastwood. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's one of my favorite movies, and I love it. And he's so great in it, and a little different than like Death Wish or John Wick or anything like that. Which is actually another one that sorry, Casey, is John Wick, and that was interesting because that like was definitely supposed to be one of the Taken or Equalizer, like older guys, but that kind of became its own genre then, just because the stunts and the actions of that were so incredible that it became its singular thing. Where like what was that one with Charlize Theron?
Atomic Blonde.
Oh,
Atomic Blonde. That kind of became her John Wick. But
I'd love to see another one of those. That was a cool movie.
Yeah. She seems like someone, honestly, who would like rock a like older person. By older, I think she's in her like late 40s. But I mean, like, I feel like she would like rock this genre. Just like, we watched the movie "Long Kiss Goodnight," which was fine. But I was like,
whoa, Scott, the fuck you just said right now, man?
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Scott, such rompy man, just like Casey. But Casey, do you like that movie? No,
I'm afraid to say what I think of it.
Both of you.
You were talking to Scott. You guys should talk about that.
No, you two are in this, man. No, Scott.
Hey, I'll say
great.
I'll say this. It's a kind of whatever Shane Black movie, but it's a very good Rennie Harlan movie. So
there you go.
I know you live, Connor.
I know we're pretty much. I think we all kind of know where all of us live.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah, Scott's somewhere in the valley. Casey's somewhere in Inglewood.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm still here.
Thanks for doxing me.
I'm still here underwater.
Yeah, great. Doxed.
in the wreck of the Ocean Gate Titan, still broadcasting my ghost, contained within this crushed hull. I was also going to shout out Leo Fong is a fun old man in action movies that people maybe don't know as much about.
Leo Fong.
Leo Fong. Oh wow, look who doesn't know about movies now. It's he was the star of Low Blow. Ever heard of it?
No.
Okay, well, there you go.
It's not like a TV show, man.
It's probably a TV show.
I don't know what his background is exactly. I guess he knows martial arts. We watched one of his movies on Monday Night Movie Night a long time ago, Low Blow. He has another one called Showdown that I really want to watch, about a bunch of bikers who go to a town of old mob people to like try to take over, and then Leo Fong shows up to punch everybody slowly and shoot him with a gun.
What's it called? What's the actor's name?
Leo Fong.
Leo. How you spell that? How you spell that last name?
Fong.
Fong.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you, Casey? You got any old men you want to talk about?
This motherfucker?
I like Denzel in Unstoppable. He's always my number one.
Nice.
Unstoppable is great.
I think that one does the old man thing pretty well, because it's basically like a Liam Neeson or like some vibes of John Wick, where it's just like, I'm so old. And then in the very end, he's like, all right, runs on top of the train, saves the people, and he's a sleeper hit. You don't know he's due until he does it. It's great.
Nice.
That's my pitch. Heck yeah. It's party time.
Background. Yeah.
I didn't know you scared me a little bit.
That's me. Boo. Coming to fuck your head up.
Man.
You don't also bug me about Mission Impossible The new one is just that we didn't get enough backstory of the villain, like how he had some like connection with Ethan and stuff. Like it was just too much like setup. And if we would have known a little bit more of what happened, so like when he comes back in the second one, we're like, oh, now there's that guy, and we know exactly why they hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to like, oh yeah, he's just some guy with a mysterious past.
I get that. I stopped liking I like the missions less the more convoluted the plots were. So it's like, man, there's just so I can hardly focus on Gabriel when there's also the entity and like they gotta find the key and they gotta do all I can't keep up. I can't keep up. So it's also like I don't know. I thought that was just me, I guess, where I was like, I don't know what's going on.
I will say, like, if this is like the last one, I will be kind of sad. Like, I do like just how like big and crazy these are like current day James Bond movies in the way that James Bond movies aren't always. Yeah, I'll miss the spectacle.
Yeah, totally.
What the fuck is Edwin? Where the fuck is Edwin?
Edwin's like, I'm not here for games, man.
Oh, here we go.
I love a good game. Connecting to audio.
This is why we got to get Discord figured out, so we don't got to do these little jumps in between them. You got to connect to audio, buddy.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm having some technical difficulties right now because it's not popping on my computer. What's happening here?
Do you want to just do the rest from your phone then, real quick?
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
I have my headphones on because this Telephono doesn't have a plug-in, so I could plug in my shit.
Well, who cares about all of that? It's time for Connor's Wicked Games, sponsored by Chris Isaac.
Whoa. Oh God.
Every episode of Cinema Curse, I'm doing a fun little game, and today is no exception. I am going to read these gentlemen the description of an action movie taken from Letterboxd. I might throw in the tagline if like the descriptions are slight.
Just saying, I'm gonna win.
And you guys will then have to guess from only that description the name of the old man who starred in the film. And now to give some specifications, all these movies were listed as action under their genres on Letterboxd. All these men were at least like 50 when the movie came out, and so like if they were born in 1940, I wouldn't use a movie from before 1990. I might leave out a word or two from the descriptions in case it's like, you know, the name, like sometimes they'll put like the name of the performer instead of the character. Let's start. We'll have first one's an easy one. And I think actually, Edwin, I think largely speaking, Edwin, you should give your guess last. Everyone can have their own guess if you disagree. Edwin, you should give your guess last just in case you are very good at this. But I think this first one will be pretty easy. While vacationing with a friend in Paris, an American girl is kidnapped by a gang of human traffickers intent on selling her into forced prostitution. Working against the clock, her ex-spy father must pull out all the stops to save her, but with his best years possibly behind him, the job may be more than he can handle.
It's too damn easy.
Well, that's why I did it first.
Wait, are we allowed to do what it is?
Yeah, how are we doing this? Like, what's
everybody just can guess.
Okay, I'm gonna guess Taken.
You guess the name of the old man.
Oh shit! Sorry.
It's fine. I'll let you retake that.
Liam Neeson of Taken.
I also guessed
what
Liam
they
Neeson.
said.
What they said, you guys are all correct. It was indeed a 56-year-old Liam Neeson in the original Taken. Everyone gets a point. All right, number 2. This one has the tagline of, "How far would you go to protect your family?" The description is, "A mild-mannered father is transformed into a killing machine after his family is torn apart by a violent act." Which old man's in this movie?
Repeat that one more time.
A mild-mannered father is transformed into a killing machine after his family is torn apart by a violent act.
It's not RoboCop, is it? Sounds like RoboCop.
Sounds like RoboCop.
No, it doesn't.
RoboCop.
That would.
I'm gonna guess Bob Odenkirk.
No, they're not torn apart. They're not torn apart.
Well, it's not RoboCop.
Oh, you mean the actors? Okay, I see now. Fuck. It's not Odenkirk, that's for sure.
Final guesses, guys. We got to get them in. You're going with Odenkirk, Scott?
I pass.
Yeah.
I
bravely passes.
I'm gonna say Peter Weller of RoboCop.
You did not get this right. I thought you would have at least got the movie right. I thought you were going to guess because the movie is Death Wish, but it's and I thought I was going to trick you guys into guessing Charles Bronson because it was actually the description for a 63-year-old Bruce Willis in the Death Wish remake.
God damn you.
All right.
All right.
Suck, man.
Next up. This is a much harder game than last week. Last week it was like true or false. This one's fill in the blank. All right. We got another one. Number 3. Marshall Lawson is the commander of an elite military unit. Marshall Lawson loses his strike team in a cold-blooded and seemingly random attack, and he takes it upon himself to investigate the attack with the help of his girlfriend Tia and his friend Dwayne. Which old man's in this movie?
What?
What is that?
Which old man?
Repeat that one more time.
Yeah. Let me hear all that.
It's a very poorly written. I'll give you guys. Here's the tagline also. Humanity's greatest hope faces his greatest battle. And the description again is Marshall Lawson is the commander of an elite military unit. Marshall Lawson loses his strike team in a cold-blooded and seemingly random attack, and he takes it upon himself to investigate the attack with the help of his girlfriend Tia and his friend Dwayne. Who are you guessing?
I'm gonna go.
Oh, wait.
All in here. I'm gonna say it's Arnie.
You're saying that's Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger for me too. Arnold. It sounds like that Last Stand movie.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. That's gonna be my guess too. Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you guys are all wrong. It was in 54-year-old Steven Seagal in Attack Force.
Man, fuck you!
I can't even. You literally just said the name of a Steven Seagal movie. If you put a gun to my head, could not name one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But you guys are on the right track.
Yeah.
Expendables?
I think it comes to the fact that a lot of these movies sound the same.
I know that's part of the fun of the game. is the mystery inside. We'll see. All right. Next up, we've got. In 2030, the world is in a permanent state of economic recession and facing serious environmental problems as a result of global warming.
Book of Eli, Denzel Washington.
Oh. I'm going to also say Denzel Washington.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with that guess too. That sounds about right.
You guys got to start guessing differently because you're, once again, all wrong because that was a 53-year-old Nicolas Cage in The Humanity Burrow.
I was so able to fucking get that. This is bullshit.
You can only see so many Nicolas Cage movies, and I'm afraid I missed that one.
All right, let's see. Maybe I think Edwin. We'll see about this one. After surviving an attempt on his life by his former partner, Officer Cliff Garrett exacts revenge on those who wronged him by going undercover as a hitman. He works to gain the reputation and trust needed in order to be accepted by the burgeoning Seattle area criminal underworld, but it is all done in order to take it down from within.
Chuck Norris, the hitman.
I pass.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not familiar with this plotline at all.
You got it, Edwin. See, that's why I wanted you to guess last. I knew some of these 80 ones you might guess. You might guess correctly, fully.
Yeah. Unlike some people, I'm a truck fan.
Truck fan?
Trucks.
Trucks. I love my dog and my truck.
Hey,
My
Casey.
farm and my truck.
Hey, what you are, man.
Honk honk.
All right.
Jesus.
So I should say, you guys don't have to guess the name of the movie, just the old man. So I would say, just start throwing out old men who are in action, known for being in action movies. Because I'm not repeating any of the old man, and these next couple are pretty. I would say 3 of the last 4 are pretty iconic old men action stars. This one you got to guess last, Edwin, on this one, because I think you're definitely going to know this one. So guess last. Architect vigilante Paul Kersey arrives back in New York City and is forcibly recruited by a crooked police chief to fight street crime caused by a large gang terrorizing the neighborhoods. Any old men? What's
Scott, you go first.
Oh, thanks, man. It's probably Harrison Ford. No, he's a different archaeologist. Sam Neill.
Sam Neill.
That's where you're going with, Casey?
Yeah, sure.
No, is it Danny Glover?
Edwin, who is
Danny
it?
Glover be in there? Oh my god, it's Charles Bronson
Why
in
wouldn't-
Death Wish 3.
Oh.
You knew which one it was, too. Nice.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
obvious.
a 64-year-old Charles Bronson in Death Wish 3.
All right.
You couldn't pay me to care about Charles Bronson.
Hey,
Don't
What's your
care.
fucking
Don't
mouth,
care.
Casey. No, I'm
Don't
gonna
care.
find your fucking ass, man. I'm gonna find you.
Boring.
You know, I'm
Boring.
gonna buy every Taylor Swift ticket and showing your goddamn face. Like, look at me, you can't go to this shit. You can't go.
No, that'd be
That's
great
not-
for Casey because that just means the traffic is.
Yeah, there'd be one person at every Taylor Swift concert this week.
It'd be amazing if she came out and it was just Edwin. Hey, I still want a show. It's like, what is happening here? Did Haim leave?
State-of-the-art security system creator Jack Stanfield has cemented his reputation as a man who's thought of everything. But when a criminal finds a way into Jack's personal life, everything Jack holds dear is suddenly at stake. Which old man's in this movie?
Wait, repeat that again. Repeat the question.
State-of-the-art security system creator Jack Stanfield has cemented his reputation as a man who's thought of everything. But when a criminal finds a way into Jack's personal life, everything Jack holds dear is suddenly at stake. Nothing is more dangerous than a man with everything to lose.
What's the tagline? Is there a tagline to the movie?
That was the tagline.
That nothing's more dangerous than a man with everything to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Arnie. I'm guessing Arnie again.
No, it's not Arnie. Arnie's not too smart for security system bullshit.
I'm gonna say Dolph Lundgren. I don't know. No, I guess he was younger. He didn't do like older man.
He's a very intelligent man.
Can I get a year? Is there a year possible? Okay.
How many?
Yeah, I'm gonna pass. I don't know.
Don't you want to guess?
Sure. Yeah. Stallone. I don't know. One of his.
Edwin.
This should be easy. Man, give me the question one more time.
I'm not gonna repeat it a third time. You gotta make a guess. Just name an old man who likes to run around and jump off of things.
Arnie.
Okay, Stallone.
Unfortunately, this was a 65-year-old Harrison Ford in Firewall.
Come on.
See, I should have guessed my last one.
2 more. Let's see. Okay, this one I think. Why is this one so long? I'm only.
Firewall. That was the one where he like hacks a computer with an iPhone at one. Oh no, an iPad. Like pod,
I think
because
so.
Like the iPod had just come out.
This is a long one, and if anybody has paid attention to the news recently, they should know. They should remember this one. Maybe that was too much. Maybe too much of a hint, but we'll see. I'm not going to repeat this one. After he and his wife are murdered, Marine Ray Garrison is resurrected by a team of scientists. Enhanced with nanotechnology, he becomes a superhuman biotech killing machine. As Ray first trains with fellow super soldiers, he cannot recall anything from his former life, but when his memories flood back and he remembers the man that killed both him and his wife, he breaks out of the facility to get revenge, only to discover that there's more to the conspiracy than he thought. Which old man's in this movie? I'll give you guys the hint. I'll give you guys a hint that this is not necessarily. This is kind of a man who's only recently fallen into this category. It's a more recent film.
Jason Statham.
Any other guesses?
I'm going to say Jet Li.
Casey?
Pat. I pass.
The 53-year-old Vin Diesel in Bloodshot.
Come on.
All right, we got one left. Let's see. I think Edwin wins no matter what. I think, but I think we'll see if Casey or Scott can put the other in third place instead of second. All right, this is a short one. I'll read the tagline and the description. Revenge never gets old. After watching their respective partners die, a cop and a hitman form an alliance in order to bring down their common enemy.
Oh, I feel like I know what this one is. Brian Dennehy and James Woods.
Any other guesses?
Oh, I have
Kurt
no.
Russell.
No.
There you go.
Ooh, Kurt Russell, nice.
There you go.
This was the oldest of the old men. It was a 66-year-old Sylvester Stallone in Bullet to the Head, the Walter Hill movie.
No, I'm done.
Bullet in the
I'm
head.
done, man. I'm done. I hate
Rest
you, man.
in peace.
Well, okay, so Edwin, you got the silver medal, but you guys tied. You guys both got Edwin got the gold medal, I should say.
Yeah.
Casey and Scott, you guys, by doing poorly, tied with each other, so you guys both get silver medals.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I'm keeping track of them. One day they'll be worth something, maybe. Probably not. Let's move on to... I did a theme for this one, too. Edwin's cool stuff.
Yeah. Fuck you.
All right, intro. Start talking.
So when I say I hate that movie, Mommy, it's a piece of shit. Should burn in hell for all eternity.
It's the intro to your
That's
segment. Talk about your cool stuff.
All right, my cool stuff. I got posters from Cinephile.
Oh,
I got
nice.
I got Zoot Suits. I got A Wedding by Altman, and I got Michael Bean's giallo thriller, The Fan. And also I rented some motion pictures as well.
Why don't you show them to us?
They're buried somewhere, but I rented some Blu-rays and DVDs. What I rented. Oh, I got a Blu-ray of Where the Buffalo Roam. That's with Mr. Bill Murray. I got Bruce Willis' action-packed thrill ride, Striking Distance. He's a boat cop. And I got a movie called Death Hunt with Charles Bronson and Lee Marvin. It's basically pre-Fugitive. I also got a movie called The Boys in Company C, Vietnam War movie. And I'm currently watching a movie called The Hanoi Hilton, which is about Vietnam. And I'm just everywhere right now. I am everywhere.
All right.
Everywhere.
Well, let's do our actual final segment. Has anybody got anything else? Anything you want to plug? Anything else you want to talk about before we all go walk into the ocean together, holding hands?
No, man, I'm good. Let's go.
Let's go
Get
swimming.
this show on the road.
Go see A Haunting in Venice in theaters in September.
I refuse.
Casey is SAG right now, so he believes in it so much that he's actually scabbing by doing that. So.
Yes.
I
hate fair wages.
I guess I'll shout out in kind of a complete opposite of what we've been talking about today. I just finished this comic miniseries called Maze Book, written and drawn by Jeff Lemire, who does a lot of indie comics. It's essentially, like, it is literally just a comic about a guy mourning the death of his child. And there's kind of a mystery element to it involving, like, her love of mazes and this like mysterious maze that might exist, but it really is very but it's really good. And Jeff Lemire's a great writer, got a really cool style. It came out last year and I just finished it now. But yeah, Maze Book, check that out. And check me out. Oh, Edwin's decided to turn off his video.
I'm still here. I was checking something right now.
He's jerking off. And so he doesn't.
Yeah, I'm just checking something right now.
And yeah, I'm at twitch.tv/Connor Cruz. If you're watching this on YouTube, I will be back Monday with some Metroid Prime randomizer in the evening, and then next Cinema Curse. We're finally doing it. We delayed it last week, but it's our Haunted Mansion special. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's so excited about the new Jared Leto as the Hatbox Ghost. What? Are you kidding me? I gotta run, not walk to theaters to see this one. No. We're talking about Skinamarink and Talk to Me, and the idea whenever a movie is hyped up as like the scariest movie I've ever seen. And yeah, it should be fun. Anybody got anything else? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I'll forever hold your peace.
Like my dick?
Oh my! Oh, that is an awful thing.
That's all I heard.
Like that. Now, fuck y'all.
Oh.
Right. I'm starting the outro music. So, bye-bye. Goodbye, citizens.
Bye, America. I'm uncensored still. Don't you fucking dare!
Oh, I want to say thank you to Marina Sakiboto and Shunkin for letting us use their song Curse off the EP She Nods for our opening, and Brian Robert for composing our outro. I should do that before I do the outro next time. Bye-bye. End of stream.